What's up guys, Lee Ryder here, Crypto Didact, and today is November 29th, 2017. That's a Wednesday. We're going to be doing a deep, in-depth analysis into the Bitcoin market right now. We just hit 10K, very quickly went to 11. To me, this looks like a blow off top. I'll show y'all in the volume profiling how we've seen 5 waves of volume decreasing over this year. And this looks like we might be the start of a bear market. So we will see. Let's do the analysis and see if y'all agree. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the market analysis of 10K. This is a huge level. We've had a lot of crazy action. 10K, almost to 12. It's been kind of nutty. It looks a little topish, but we'll talk about that. So we've had a great year, as you can see here on the chart. Man, it's been glorious all freaking year, and I hope y'all made a lot of money. I hope you made a lot of money, should have. So yeah, let's talk about it. I'm gonna start by looking at some weekly charts, and I know that a lot of y'all like to use Fibonacci's, and so I wanted to try to include that, and that also goes back to my previous lectures on support and resistance. So if we look this whole year, every time that we've had a big run up, the pullback has come to the 50% or the 61.8% retracement in between that range. So if we look now, assuming that we have just made a current top, we should expect the price to fall in this area here where this green bar is. So as you can see, every time it's run up, let me change my cursor size. Yeah, every time we get a move up, we get a retracement back to this 50 and 618 levels. So I don't use this as for like my total analysis. I just use it as part of the toolkit like we talked about before. This is one of the auras, support and resistance. A lot of traders use it, so it's something to look at. The main thing that caught my eye that I've been watching this year though has been the volume profiling. Now, I've talked about volume profiling in the past, and I know I haven't done a real in-depth video on it, but I hope that y'all will be able to see what I'm talking about here. So I have the same weekly chart up, and we're looking over this whole past year, and like I've talked about in my last video, the red is these vacuum areas where very low volume profile. That means at that price level, people are not coming in and voting very hard with their money. So these tend to be areas that price moves very quickly or reject away from. So as you can see here, basically price just lifted right through that. Same thing here, price just went right through it, price just goes right through it. So you can see those corresponding little low valleys, we call these values on the volume profile. So what I've been noticing over this whole year is that every time we make a new high and we form a new level of value, it has done so with less volume. And what I mean by that is if you look down here, we have this giant node that basically lit the fire that started this whole thing around the $800 to $1,200 range, and there was a tremendous amount of volume. The next level here, where there's value, we have another big, nice, normal distribution. But as you can see, this volume nodes, or these volume profiles are getting smaller and smaller. And this last run up was done on incredibly thin volume. So this tells me this is not people coming into the market and putting a lot of, they're not voting very hard. What they're doing is there's a lot of people chasing price. And that's what this volume profile is indicating. Now this is on the weekly candle, so this could all change, but from the pattern that I've been seeing, we are nearing a point of exhaustion in this bull run. So let's take we'll go down a little bit more to the daily. So we're gonna look at the daily now, and there's a couple things that I want to look at. So these green and red are the same thing. I've just taken away the bars so it's a little easier to read. So what are these lines that I've drawn in here? Well, there's something that I haven't made a lecture on, but something that I look at a lot in my trading is called divergence. And so divergence is where price and your cycle indicators are doing different things. So you can see here, we have a low price to a higher price, but what happens is the cycle is actually it's downtrending, so it's doing opposite of what the price is doing. This is usually a good indication that that price will continue in the direction of your cycle indicator. We're seeing the same thing on momentum. Momentum's been falling since September, so that's just something that we want to pay attention to. You can see that this one, this is the, I have two RSIs up on here, guys. So I have a standard setting 10 and 3, and then I have another 50 and 10. Oh, excuse me. So the 50 and 10 is gonna be this guy here, and you can see it's kind of flat and it's hanging around this upper bounds. Like I said with cycles, they tend to go high to low. So for me, we're looking like, okay, we're looking a little peakish. So something to watch. There's another big thing, and that is this candle pattern right here. These double tweezer tops right here. This candle's not formed, so we can't really call it yet, but this is usually a good indication of a topping signal, because what that means is, if you watch my lecture on what candles and what's happening inside the candle, is there's a battle going on where people have tried to drive the price up so high. That's what that wick is right here, but then it got rejected and hammered down. And you can see it tried to go up to the same level before, and we're getting a little more traction on this candle, but it looks like it's just gonna roll over. And where that goes, we don't know, but we'll take a look at where I think we're likely to go. Okay, so if we look at the 60-minute chart here, I've drawn in these two pink bars, and I've removed some of the indicators, the cycle indicators, so we can kind of just see a little more clearly. So basically what I have here is between these two levels, this is a no trade zone. You do not want to be trading in this level, because this is likely to be range bound for some time. We have that going back to here. We have this volume profile over here that's pretty much just going to reject price, and then also right below it we also have a level that's just going to be rejected. So really what we're watching now is, do we hold this level here? This is an important level, because this is also where the volume point of control is at. And if the price can't hold this level, it's a good indication that we're going to continue moving downwards. So we have those two levels, which are, these are likely going to bounce, and then we also have this guy here. So this is just a tricky area, guys. You don't want to be taking trades because it's too wild. Now once price breaks above here and it comes back and finds support, and that's going to be a very good area to buy, because that's telling you, the market's telling you that, listen, we're ready to move higher and we're done with whatever, right? So the exhaustion is figured out at that point. The same thing if we get below this level and come up and find support, it's a good time to sell, because it's telling you, listen, we're breaking through these key levels and we're likely not going to hold them. So I like to look at this because I like to think about every possible option. Does the price come here and retest the highs and then roll over? Does it come up and keep going? Does it come up, break, bounce? These are all things that you have to think about. Does it come all the way down here? Bam, right? So I like to think about 4 or 5 different situations that the price can do and formulate some trading strategies around that, because I want to be ready when the market starts moving, and when it starts following one of those patterns, I've already have everything figured out and I'm not scrambling and being an emotional trader. So it's a really good tip to plan your trades out. You can see that I have these different levels here, and depending what price does, these are going to be levels I'm going to be looking to buy. These are going to be areas that you can fade. So just something to think about, guys. So I'm going to dial down a little bit further and go down to my favorite trading range, which is this, we're going to be at the 30 minutes, the 30 and the 10. I use the 30 for confirmation and 10 for entering. So I'll show you the 10 as well. Okay, so let's look at what's happening here. We can see, where are we in the cycle? Well, where are we in the cycle is we're upping at a top level, and it's actually the same thing I was saying earlier about this divergence, that you're seeing divergence in the price and your cycle indicator. So this is this is good stuff to pay attention to. You can also see that we are trading in the middle of this volume profile. And like I've talked about before, you do not want to be placing trades in the middle. You want to let the market figure out, are we at value, or do we need to go lower, or do we need to go higher? So my thinking is that we're going to reject this again, and we will retest this low level right here. And if we can't hold that, guys, I think we're in for some more downward movement over the next couple weeks, and it's just something to pay attention to. We are exiting out of the cycle. We are flat on our long term. It's not good. It doesn't look like a good time to be buying. So I hope that was helpful, guys. I hope to do some more analysis. I just wanted to get a big overview of what I'm seeing and some things to watch. And yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next video. Alrighty guys, well I hope y'all found that helpful and got a little bit of insight out of that. Like I said, I just wanted to give y'all a broad overview of what I'm seeing and kind of how I'm thinking about the market, how I go from the top down and dial it in. Let me know in the comments if y'all liked it, enjoyed it. Do you like the lower time frames? Do you like the higher time frames? Do you want me to do different coins? And thank y'all for your time, and I really hope y'all enjoyed. We'll see you in the next video.